What does it mean for a graduate student to be a professional while attending school?
Well, I think if you take a look at the CSP program, one of the things that you look at and you're thinking about is as you come in from your undergraduate experience. As an undergraduate, I think one of the things that you've done is you've been involved in a lot of activities and probably had leadership roles in those activities. But you're still a student, even though you're gaining the experience of being a leader, taking control, running events, maybe some of those types of things. Now you come into graduate school and you're expected to fill that dual role. You're still a student, and at the same time you're asked to be a professional. And so what does that really mean? To be honest, you're not really considered a professional right off the bat. You're going to get a lot of professional responsibilities, and you're going to have some of the same work that a professional would have, but the level of accountability is going to be a little bit different. I think one of the biggest things that you need to think about is as you come into the program is instead of taking control and running programs or running educationals, it's now how do I help the undergraduates or how do I help my office or my students become successful leaders in whatever we're working on, whether it's homecoming or whether it's an educational event or those types of things. How do you lead them through the process? How do you give them the skills? Instead of taking over and being assigned a duty, now you're assigning duties. And the hardest part about being a GA is you're assigning duties and you're getting assigned duties. And so you might be the only quote unquote professional in your office. You might have a supervisor, it might be you, and then you have a bunch of undergraduates. And you're left to your own volition to do whatever you need to do to meet the outcomes of that office become successful. At the same time, you still have 12 hours of classwork that you have to do. You have all those other expectations that the cohort has of you coming in, and trying to balance all of those things can be a difficult task. And so I think if you think of I say this first, be a student professional instead of thinking that you're professional. And I think that will help keep you going in the right direction in terms of where do you want to be when you complete this program? How am I going to get there? First of all, you have to be academically successful to get to wherever you want to go. So I'd coin the term a student professional instead of coming in and think, well, now I have this job, how do I mix in a student? It's not that way. Now, somebody who might be a full-time person in student services might think differently, but from a faculty perspective, I think that's what I'm trying to get you to think about is how do I fill my needs, my roles as a student first, and then how do I mix that in with my professional activities?